So yeah, very happy to represent Better Nature this opportunity. At Better Nature, we make protein without compromise. That means without compromise on people, peace, and health, without compromise on animals, in being ethical, and without compromise for the planet by being sustainable. We're the world's first food tech company focused on temper fermentation. And why temper fermentation? First, we'll show you what temper fermentation can do. We utilize its binding ability to create all natural and wholesome plant-based meal alternative to fill the gap between the consumers who want all free from artificial ingredients and available in the market. And after that, we move forward to utilize temper fermentation into a completely different direction that is most relevant for this alt dairy conference actually. So you can see in this video that with the ability of temper fermentation to transform any substrate, increase its emulsifying capacity, we see the potential to make a versatile and functional food ingredient to be applied in alt dairy. So the point of this presentation would not be to pitch Better Nature or business development person in the networking session. I would like to bring forward a little bit of the science why we moved to this alt dairy direction. So all these is based on the chapter 1 of my dissertation when I did my PhD at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. We compiled every single tempeh fermentation paper on the internet and distilled them into about 300 papers that we summarized into a semi-centennial or half a decade review on temper fermentation, on its health benefits, fermentation, safety, processing, sustainability, and affordability. And these are the main reasons why we moved to this direction. First, if we look at the nutritional content, if we just head-to-head compare tempeh to beef, which is quite more popular source of protein, even compared to milk, for example, tempeh can match in terms of protein, much lower in saturated fat, much higher in fiber and calcium, even iron, and much higher in vitamin C. And with our proprietary technology, we can promote the B12 that really does not always present in beef. And in terms of sustainability, this graph explains how many grams of protein we can produce using tempeh for every megajoule of energy to see how efficient it is. As you can see, the tempeh can produce, for example, 17.3 grams of protein, while beef can only produce 4.4 grams of protein for every single megajoule. That means tempeh is about 20 times, so about 4 times higher in terms of energy consumption efficiency. Still same for the sustainability. If you look at the emission efficiency, tempeh can produce 157.8 grams of protein for every kilograms of carbohydrate equivalent, while beef can only produce 7.1. And you can see milk as well can only produce 31. So if you look at this, tempeh can be about 5 times more efficient than milk, if we were to say. And not only that, temper fermentation is a process. We can change the substrate, but the benefits would cover the increase of bioactive compounds, a very important health component in food, and protein content bioavailability, free fatty acid, phytosterols, carbohydrate, ash mineral, vitamin B12 that is critical in vegan diet, vitamin B1, B6, folate, and decrease the anti-nutrients, that means digestibility, toxins, allergens, barrier of using several grains. And finally, we also summarize every single health benefit related paper on temper fermentation. We categorize them into population study, clinical studies, in vivo, ex vivo, and in vitro. And this is our summary. So temper fermentation can increase the calcium content, vitamin B12 content, folate, iron, paraprobiotics, which eventually would affect these health conditions at the bottom. But one key component is one circle at the center, which is isoflavone bioavailability. I think this is actually the future of food industry to reach a new height, health benefits of food, to take a look at the bioactive compound. So this key of temper fermentation is also the reason why we move forward to alt dairy. We want to present these health benefits in the form of alt dairy, like milk, which is very, very commonly consumed. We're speaking about cognitive function, liver health, cardiovascular health, cancer, diabetes mellitus, obesity, lung health, muscle recovery, and even malnutrition. So what better nature currently quite the introduction of what temperate fermentation can present to the world in terms of benefits. And we're really happy to hear your questions and hear your interests, since we are very, very agile team. We cannot wait for what the future holds for us. So we are a team of food scientists, biotechnologists, biochemists, product developer, marketers, even anthropologists, and we got like members from 7 different countries, and we're based in the UK for business and for R&D in Indonesia. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts.